Nate's been pretty clear. I don't think it's any secret. Like he wants the third fight with Conor. And
he's all on McGregor's. He's like a bad ex-girlfriend. I mean, literally. I mean, a bad taste in somebody's mouth. If you win, you lose. You got to move on, dude. If you really want that money fight, then you're probably hurting for money. I mean, literally, if you have that money fight, you should say to pay your taxes, do and then move on. This is a fighter sport. You're ranked number what? 8, 9? Don't you want to be better than that? I mean, dude you beat is ranked higher than you. Don't you want an opportunity at the belt? I mean, come on, you'd be skipping a couple of names, but I'm giving you an opportunity. I'm doing you a favor. I'm doing myself a favor. Giving you a chance. If you don't want it, it's cool. Give somebody else a chance.
Are you confident that this guy is you've also said defend or vacate. I mean, how do you see it playing out? I mean, do you think a lot of people see Conor fighting Floyd and they're not fighting again for a long time because they'll have all that money, you know? Like, so where does that leave you? Like does that keep you up at night? Like, do you think about that kind of stuff?
No, I don't worry about that one bit. I think about like how the fight is going to actually happen if it does happen, and I think about how my fight with Conor is going to go when that breaks down. I mean, that's what a real professional does. Why am I going to lose sleep over that I can't handle? I'm not. I really don't give two. I mean, there's much more things that are interesting in the world that are going on right now. If you turn on your tube and you watch CNN, which is half anyway, but if you actually pay attention to the news and the world events, there's some pretty big things going on besides worrying about Conor McNuggets. So I'm not losing any sleep over him whatsoever because I have a little man that keeps me up. You know what I mean? And I mean, ultimate in reality, I mean, I can get to what was your question, and that's how much I care.
You think Nate will fight you this summer?
If he wants to, if he wants to fight, then he's gonna want to fight. I mean, literally, I can. You want me to bump up a weight class and fight Tyron Woodley? I size that dude up too, and that dude is not that big. And I sized up Wonder Boy too. Carlos Condit. You know, I got into this UFC game for George St. Pierre because he was at 170 pounds. And when I fight it, I was 10-2 after it was like 11-2. After I won the Ultimate Fighter at 170 pounds, that was my 170 pound record, 11-2. I'm 23-2 now, 23-3. So I've been fluctuating 2 weight classes. I own 170 and 155. These are my weight classes. You want me to go back up to 170? I'm beefy. I feel good at 170. My wife loves me at 170. It's cool. I don't have to go into detail. It's awesome. So, but besides that point, I mean, we got options. Nate, you're not the last option. Man. Get too. You don't want to fight, go hide in a hole. Like, literally, that's it. I mean, but you got to admit on Twitter that you don't want to fight me. You're scared, homie. I mean, all that gonna go out the window. I'm like, don't be scared, homie. All that people are gonna start throwing that away. I mean, it's gonna be crazy. Watch out for the riots, Nate. If you don't want to take this fight, I mean, just telling you, bro. Stock's gonna. But you can wait for McNuggets. But we all know if you wait for that fool, I mean, literally, if he fights Mayweather and he doesn't fight again, you might not get another chance for a big money fight besides this guy. So, I'm giving you a shot. If you don't want it, it's perfect. If you like it, sign the dotted line, son. Let's move on.
So, talking trash, especially in the media, is not Ferguson's forte. You know, I think anybody who's been following this guy's career knows that he's great at talking trash to an opponent. This guy's very confident. He's an alpha male. He can look down an opponent, stare down an opponent, and talk directly to him. But in terms of when you get a camera thrown in your face and you're like, who do you want to fight? You know, talk trash about your opponent. Ferguson, it doesn't come naturally to him, and I don't think he really tries to press it. I think he understands that that's just not my personality. I'm not going to be that guy. I want to be myself. So it doesn't always come across. He's not a Conor McGregor type, just in terms of polish on the camera. But you listen to him talk, and he has reasons for winning that Nate Diaz fight, and I like the way that he's presenting it to Nate. You know, Nate. We all know what's going on with Nate. He's waiting for a third fight with Conor McGregor. But essentially what Tony is saying is, you know, listen, we don't know when Conor's coming back. And it sucks for everybody in the lightweight division. But no one knows when the guy's coming back. Are you going to continue to wait? Or are you going to take a fight against the guy who's ranked number 1 in the division right now? You know, I mean, forget Conor. Conor's in boxing. He's not even in mixed martial arts. He's out of sight, out of mind. Forget about him for now. Are you really going to turn down a fight against the guy who's at the top of the mountain of a 155-pound division? Now, whether or not Nate takes that bait, I have no idea. But that's the card, right, for Tony to play. So we'll see. If the fight happens, I could see them throwing it on the International Fight Week on July 8th in Las Vegas, and I would love to see it. But I also can't blame Nate if he says, I'm going to wait for that Irish guy one more time. I don't understand why people really like to watch fighters continue to fight into their, it's very clear that they're past their prime. They're not going to win a title again. They may have a great night. Like you said, anything's possible. You can still go out there and win a fight on a given night. But and the way the sport is, it's like you go through these weird streaks where it's like you're coming up, you're a prospect, and then you're a contender. If you're lucky, very lucky and fortunate, you're a champion. And then, you're kind of past your peak a little bit. You're not a champion anymore, but you're still fighting the absolute best guys in the world. Then you're a stepping stone for someone else. And then you get to almost graduate into these kind of fun, nostalgic fights. It's very weird kind of lifetime of a mixed martial arts or combat sports athlete in general's career. And I just don't know why people still like to watch at the very end. I don't know. I don't really enjoy a Diego Sanchez fight anymore. Every time the guy fights, people are like, "Yeah, Diego Sanchez is on the card." And I'm like, I don't really enjoy these fights anymmer. It's just a guy biting down on his mouthpiece and running out there and throwing lumbered shots, and I don't get pleasure out of that. I kind of like shake my head sometimes at people who do, and I get it. I get the action part of it. And, his fight with Gilbert Melendez, spectacular. But that was, 3-4 years ago now. I don't need to see Diego Sanchez fight again, but fans they'll do it. I mean, they'll watch this guy fight till he's 50.
Well, it's the college. I don't disagree with you at all, and I'm kind of grossed out by it, frankly. Not by Diego, but by people's enjoyment of this. Do you want to see these people? Let's say I look up to Michael Jordan. I look up to so many athletes that that are a part of my childhood and things like that I have immense respect and appreciation for. I don't want to see this person hurt. I don't want to, watching them go through the ups and downs of their career is one thing, because you get to see those heroic moments where they come back, they work hard, they overcome difficulty. That's inspirational on an amazing level. But, man, to see someone go out there and just be injured and destroyed before your eyes, I don't understand that. That's that blood first Coliseum mentality, and that's also something that I don't think the UFC should support. Frankly, if you're looking out there and you're showing appreciation and you're speaking of the skill of the athletes, the ability to not get hurt, the ability to not get hit, as opposed to it's a war and they've got amazing knockout power. I'm like, Jesus, you're getting people frothing at the mouth to see someone's head ripped off, as opposed to being able to get yourself into a fist fight against another professional world-class martial artist and get out of there more or less without a scratch, on a good day. We look at Floyd Mayweather, and there's just not enough appreciation for a guy like that. He always talks about he got out of the game also making probably $500 million, but he got out of the game still being able to speak properly, still looking right, still looking like the same guy more or less that got in there. And I think that's an amazing thing. And when we go in a different direction, like you said, it just gets uncomfortable. And we ask, why do we want to see that anyway? Even if we could, it's not as if there's no cost to these athletes. It's not a game of basketball. And I think that we have to appreciate that.
Ryan, thanks so much for being a co-host. It was great. The discussion was phenomenal. If you're up for it, I would love to have you on again sometime. Before we let you go, what's up with you, man? We haven't seen you since December. You picked up a win against Gray Maynard. Some people love the fight. As you know, some people did not love the fight. Gray has since been announced he's got a fight coming up this summer. What's the latest with you? You got anything going?
Me, no, nothing right now. Training a lot. I feel very, very fortunate. I've got two of my good friends just moved to Washington, D.C. area to train. One of my buddies from The Ultimate Fighter, a guy named Tom Lee, who's just an amazing striker and a really developing grappler. I'm trying to improve and learn as much as I can, as well as help him get into the UFC, which is kind of like I said at the end of my fight actually against Gray, which is really, in my opinion, where this guy belongs. And man, if people want to see knockouts and crazy crap, that's the dude to go to. But I was really glad to see Gray had another fight booked. I hope he does well. For me, I'm just waiting for the right fight to come along. I don't have forever in this game, and again, the UFC doesn't pay you tons and tons of money, and I'm not rich. As a result, you kind of need the fight to be something that gets you up in the morning. And there's tough athletes all over the UFC, but as we discussed earlier, there's also minor leagues as well. I am not interested in minor leaguers. I want to fight the best, and I hope to have the opportunity to do that. So if and when that comes along, I look forward to getting back in the ring. Until then, I will just be doing my best to sharpen the blade.
Realistically, you're a smart, honest guy. I don't think you're going to say, give me Conor McGregor next. Realistically, who would you want to fight this summer?
If I had the opportunity to get in there with someone at the tail end of the top 10, I would love that. There's very, very tough guys like Darren Elkins, who's, is very, very tough and got in there, had an amazing fight his last time with Mirsad Bektic. Maybe Dennis Bermudez, people like that. Again, if Conor McGregor would love to fight, please, Conor, help me pay my mortgage. But since that's not likely to occur, I think maybe somebody like an Elkins or Bermudez, or if Yair Rodriguez doesn't get the results he's looking for against Frankie Edgar, I'd love to get in there against him. We'll have to see what comes up. But, I guess I'd like to fight guys that'll come get it. A Korean Zombie would be an amazing opportunity. That being said, I'm sure they got better plans for him. And we'll just have to see what comes.
There he is. Well, thank you again for the time, and I know a lot of us look forward to seeing you back in action whenever that happens. Take care, Ryan. Thanks again.
Thanks so much, Brett. Take care.